What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. We're still doing 3 videos a week right now, so we don't want you to miss out on any of those future videos, so make sure you're subscribed. Man, this is a cool video. So Core Tackle has done it again. They have came up with a new product. It's launching this week. It should be available now by the time this video is out, but got these just in time for Lake Murray. It's kind of a special little deal. You guys are gonna wanna stay tuned and learn the whole history of this bait, kind of walk through a few different rigging techniques, whatnot, but this is this bait is gonna change the game on how you fish a fluke. It is really, really cool, and pretty pumped to see what we did here with Core Tackle. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in and I'm going to show you the all new Core Tackle Scamper Rig. Okay, so this is a pretty cool one to me, especially because I had a little bit of help in designing this bait. So if you guys are familiar with me and the channel, you know I have won a few tournaments on, not a few tournaments, I won one tournament at Lake Murray on this rig right here. But it took me years and years of tweaking, messing around with tackle to come up with this rig right here. If you can't see inside the bait, this is essentially what's going on inside there. It's a Trocar TK150 hook, and I wrapped a little lead wire around the shank of the hook just to help keep the bait down, add a little weight for casting distance, and then I would add a little treble hook stinger on the back of this. So basically this is where the idea for the Scamper rig came. You know, it started with this rig, just a homemade little rig that I was tying up in the boat when I won at Lake Murray, and you know, there is another video on the channel actually where I talk about this bait. I have won over $150,000 on this rig right here. It's pretty cool. Now, I got with the guys at Core Tackle and I was like, we can make this better and we could sell this pre-rigged, ready to go. You just slide your fluke style bait, you know, your soft plastic jerk bait. I like the Yamamoto D-Shad because it's a little bit heavier plastic. You can cast it further, it stays underwater a lot better. So that's kind of why I use the D-Shad, but basically we came up with this rig right here. So it takes the same hook that I've always used. So this is a Eagle Claw Trocar hook in here. It's the same design as the TK180 that, you know, I used previously with this. And we got rid of the plastic keeper and just made it lead. So now basically your bait keeper is made of lead. So it acts as obviously a bait keeper, but it acts as some weight to help keep that bait down, allow you to cast it further, and really creates a unique action when you rig this bait up on your soft plastic jerk bait style baits like this right here. So it's really, really cool. You know, with the design of the lead on here, there's some really sharp barbs, and that really helps that bait stay on there well. It really bites into the plastic, keeps up on the bait really well. You know me, I always like to add a little super glue to everything just because it helps, it literally glues everything on. Now, this bait is designed for your soft plastic jerk baits. We got 2 different hook sizes and 2 different weight sizes in each. So the 4/0 hook, there's a 1/32, a 1/16, and then there's a 2/0 hook and a 1/32 and a 1/16. So 4 different options in your Scamper rig. And basically, you know, we wanted to have 2 different hook sizes for smaller size baits like this guy here. This is like a Super Fluke Junior. So it's a little bit smaller bait, and your 2/0 hook fits perfectly inside there. Let's go ahead and just rig him up so I can show you guys. So basically you're going to go through the back. So this is the flat side of a fluke. You know, you got the belly with the hook slot in there. So you got your flat side on the top, and you just start threading straight through the top. Go straight through there, rig him out. Now that's when you slide him up over that lead barb like that. It leaves that hook exposed, so that gives you better hookup ratio when a fish eats that. But now there's a little bit of lead in the head of that bait. So a couple things it does. One, it makes that bait kind of fall nose first on a slack line. So you can kind of get this bait down a little bit deeper. But now when you start twitching him, he's going to dart around like crazy, and you can move him a lot faster than you typically could because, you know, a small fluke style bait like this is extremely light, and it's going to want to jump out of the water the faster you move it. So you were kind of forced to fish it really slow until we came up with the scamper rig. Now you can fish this bait extremely fast, get some of those reaction strikes, you know, get some fish that are schooling, and you really got to use speed to get those fish to bite. Now you can do that with your same small little minnow style baits. You know, that, like I kind of mentioned, that's why I like the Yamamoto D-Shad in these bigger baits, because it's so heavy and I can really use that speed to my advantage. You know, speed is something that's kind of underrated in bass fishing. You know, a lot of times if the fish get too good a look at your bait, they won't bite it. They'll just get right up to it, get a really good look at it, and then turn away. And you can use speed to your advantage in those situations and really keep that bait moving really quick, and eventually it really makes them mad and they end up eating it rather than getting a good look at it and just kind of turning away. So you can use speed to your advantage, and that's exactly what the scamper rig allows you to do. And then with that exposed hook, you get an excellent hookup ratio. It's a trocar point, super sharp, super strong, and that exposed hook, if a fish just swipes at it, you got a hook exposed and there's no plastic for it to go through, so you got a great gap, and it's going to hook those fish extremely well. Now, if you go back to the original, I did like to add a treble hook stinger on the back, and you can do that exactly the same with the scamper rig. If you're fishing around schooling fish or fish that just may be nipping at your bait, you can add a little treble hook stinger to the back and help you land some of those fish. So this is an awesome bait for the springtime. You know, we're here, the fish are feeding up, their fish are shallow, and you know, it's a great time to throw your soft plastic jerk baits around. So like I said, I'm pumped to have these just in time for the Lake Murray Bass Pro Tour event, and maybe, honestly, I'm probably the only person in the field that has these baits right here. So it could play to my advantage this week. It could be pretty cool to see if the scamper rig plays. But, you know, like I mentioned, it kind of is for your soft plastic jerk baits, but this bait right here, this is the bait that you see me throw on a ball head jig. It's the 4-inch Yamamoto scope shad, and this is, you know, what I throw for my jig head minnow style stuff. It rolls real well on a ball head, and I rigged one up on a scamper rig just to kind of see what he would look like on here, and let me tell you, this is an awesome little bait for the scamper rig. So it's not just limited to your soft plastic jerk baits. This is a extremely versatile rig. You can rig it up on all your different minnow style baits. And for me, I'm using this when those fish are floating really high in the water column. So I was actually out on the water yesterday, and we've had some cold weather for a while, and then it got really warm. So basically the top of that water column is warming up faster than the rest. So those fish start sliding up real close to the surface to that warmer water. And when you're targeting them with forward-facing sonar, those fish that are sitting very close to the surface, within a couple feet of the surface, they're very hard to target with a jig head minnow because that jig head wants to fall so fast past them. You know, it's hard to find a light enough jig head with a good hook to target those fish because the bait wants to move so fast. The scamper rig is the void, or is the solution to that void that I've had in my tackle box. Now I can have a 1/32 ounce or a 1/16 ounce scamper rig on my little, or big, this is a 4-inch, so I guess this is the big scope shad. And this is gonna fall real slow, and it's not gonna have that rolling action as a jig head minnow, but I'm able to twitch and dart and kind of keep him in place almost and target some of those fish that are higher up in the water column. So that's a cool little use for the scamper rig right there. But honestly, like I said, the uses are endless, but this is going to change the game on fluke fishing. If you guys love throwing the fluke style baits, the soft plastic jerk baits, you got to try the Scamper rig. It's going to be a game changer for all of your fluke fishing. Smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, herring lakes, river systems, it doesn't matter. You're going to be able to catch them on the Scamper rig. And I'm excited that we were able to partner up with Core Tackle and bring this to you guys. So appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Hopefully you learned something. Check out the Scamper rig. They should be available right now in all your favorite retailers. I know Fish USA was placing an order. Hopefully they got there by the time we drop this video. But they're definitely available at coretackle.com and all of your other favorite places to get Core Tackle. So appreciate you guys. As always, leave those likes, comments, good stuff down below. Let me know what you think of the Scamper rig, and we'll see you guys next time.